Namaskar, Suprabhat. We are in a very interesting session. So far I understand, because media's understanding has 4 levels, as Anandavardhan said in his book around 8th and 9th century AD. As I understand, it is an appropriate theme for the plenary speakers who, through their experience, has really reached a stage when they would be doing great justice to it, and will find experience-based some sort of ground level theorizing today. I'm sure, because we have Dr. Gopalan Ravindran, the esteemed professor here, Professor Bindu Sharma here, and Dr. Mihir Ranjan Patra here. So I am cocksure about it. Now, the theme is media margin, right-based inclusive society. See, media had been thrusting, especially the mass media, the people or the mass as the simple receptors, receiving people. We talked yesterday about center-periphery relationship, in which periphery has a very little role in the same media, in the same medium. Now, so we can say, with reference to media, that at the first level of meaning generation, we can say, yes, media creates margin with its audience when it is mass media. But with self-mass communication, the social media, this margin is getting obliterated. Now, when the margin gets obliterated, the right-based inclusive society, there is a chance it will happen. So, mass self-communication is, in a way, the weapon of inclusion of all as per their desire and wish. But this is basically a two-way sword. It can be utilized for better things by the knowledgeable and people with balance, and who have the good of the people and the country and the world in their mind. At the same time, it can also, for the worst scenario, with reference to any aspect of human life, individual to the globe. So, any of these can be done. Now, the point is right-based inclusive society. There would be definitely discussion on what is better, right or duty. Right or duty. The dominant paradigm or example is that of right-based, because this is how we have been made to think. To a great extent it is correct. But on the other hand, if right, we can state, like my own state, West Bengal, I have no problem to tell that, or many other states, then it's very difficult. And the media also, if it does in that line, then it's really a great debacle for the humanity. India and the humanity. So with this short intro of the first level, and there is a second level of meaning also. The question of what is media margin. We have to make a detour of the definition of the media from a mechanical instrument which has been utilized by us, but when we are utilizing, how we are utilized by it. So that out of our 24 hours, maybe 15 hours, 16 hours, we are into it. We are forgetting many things. If we look it from the social perspective, as with the mass self-communication, when it makes the circle full, that is the community communication spectrum, starting from the interpersonal media, human media, through the folk communication, classical communication, in Indian perspective. In Western perspective, classical or traditional media is mass media. So I'm talking in Indian perspective. From there, if we look into the question, what is media margin? Definitely, those who created the themes, they had a thought in their mind, but it is more of a sort of igniting thoughts, which is the purpose of the 6th National Level Media Convention, organized very successfully by Utkal University, Center for Media Studies. So at the second level, from technological definition of media in our mind, of which we are hostage, and with that there is a property concept. My property means you are away from that property, but my right it is. Where is the balance? So from there, do we need to shift to the social definition of media? If we do that, at the same time we can include all the human media which are nothing but part of social networking, bond making, which we call social capital. And how we can make an interface between the two and have a seamless transition from one to another and a circular communication. So with self-mass communication, we have that possibility from individual through group communication of social nature in human media to technology, again coming back, sort of a looping. But there is a danger. When we talk about media margin, the artificial intelligence to its fullest strength and the machine communication, and we all have to be in machine learning, what sort of a communication situation it will bring for us, that was much earlier being conceived in the novel called Neuromancer and in Cyborg. So we have to consider all these things when we talk about media margin, right-based, inclusive society. And I am sure within 15 minutes, Professor Ravindran, and another 15 minutes each for Mihir and Professor Misra, all of them will do justice to it. And we'll ask for questions. There is a test. Question must be of one-liner. No explanation, nothing. Because our panel of these three, they are qualified to understand your context, everything, in one line, and that's a test. That's a test. That's a test of today's session. One line question, simple question, nothing more. Be prepared for it, and they will ask you all your questions. Thank you.